Grand Slam and welcome to the Jam. I'm Fūnk-é Joseph, a featured contributor at Fanbyte, and I'm joined by Elise Favis, the features and trending editor.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, and I'm also joined by Nicholas Grayson, the brand editor plus.
I'm here and I'm ready. Is this basketball?
It's not basketball. Today we're starting a new series called First Byte, where we break down the latest games, big and small, giving a nice preview and some impressions along the way. For this First Byte, we've gathered the best virtual dodgeball players in the West to talk about Knockout City, a team-based, quote-unquote, dodgeball game from Villain Studios and EA. We actually saw a bunch of this game at a press event on Monday. It is so goofy and fun, and there's a lot of Jet Set Radio aesthetic infused into this. The game releases Friday, the same day this video drops, and is available on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, Xbox Game Pass, and it's also free for the first 10 days. So if you're watching this on drop, tap in.
It's also coming out on the Nokia 9910, which is really exciting. For everybody. Yeah, it's gonna be Snake and this, which is super exciting for those folks.
Yes, Nokia fans, it is your time.
Nokia fans, rise up.
We start off just in our lobby, I guess, doing a little hideout stuff. What y'all think about the lobby system?
I think the lobby system's pretty good. It is reminiscent to me of early Rocket League, which I think is like a pretty solid aesthetic considering it's a 3v3 situation. It's based on a sport that everyone fundamentally understands, but they've done some things to twist it, kind of make it a little twisted.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I liked it. I mean, what's nice is it's a kind of like a training area where you can just try out different moves or whatever and hang out with friends and see what works best. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of games miss the mark with lobby systems, especially fighting games, which I play a lot of. Smash Ultimate is just I don't know, very clunky, and it feels like it doesn't want you to use the lobby. But yeah, this one is a fun spot where I was just testing out. I think we were doing catching and throwing, just practicing that before we went into some rounds, which was very cool.
Yeah, you taught me a core mechanic of the game, which I didn't know about when we were futzing around in this space, which is that if you do one of those cool spins that you just did, you can curve the ball like in a bullet in Wanted, which is exciting.
Right.
Yes.
Because there's like Rocket League, I think this game is going to have an unbelievable and one of the most beautiful skill curves you can have in a video game, which is that it's really low at the left side when you first start, and you can kind of just if you know how to play a video game, you're going to understand the basic mechanics of how to play this game. But once you get good at the video game, there is going to be such a high skill ceiling that you're only that progression is going to be really satisfying for people who really get into this, which I'm excited about.
And there's no personal loadouts or kind of different skill sets for different players, so everyone's got the same skills. They've got all the same stuff, which is cool. And I think there are those tutorials that you can play, but I actually thought the best way to learn was just hopping into the lobby and playing catch with a friend and whatever, and they can just sort of you can just teach each other moves.
Yeah, definitely. This set that you're watching right now is the Party KO mode. So this one is all of the balls are special balls. I think in this footage it's multi-ball, so you get to shoot 3 at once. But the normal game is just a regular dodgeball. They wouldn't answer my question about esports, or the couple ones. But the game feels incredibly fair and balanced. Yeah. They spoke about how it's all flat play, as Elise was saying, so it's skill based. You can't win by just paying and getting a super dodgeball or something. But yeah, the mechanics are super simple. It's throw, curve the ball, catch, also turn into a ball. But remembering to use all of those on the fly, when 3 people are shooting dodgeballs at you, is pretty intense. It every round was super exciting and emergent. I hope this game gets a scene, because the ranked scene or potential esports scene would be awesome to watch, I think, for this.
Yeah, agreed. I think one thing that I found a little bit frustrating was like the matchmaking isn't, you know, level based or anything like that. So it did feel like sometimes we were being grouped up with people who had played a lot beforehand or had more experience than us.
Somehow had years of experience
of this unreleased game.
Yeah,
Like,
all of the QA testers were like, all right, finally, it's our time to shine. We're going to dunk on all these noobs.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be there were developers in the mix for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like the map design too is I think the crucial thing in especially games like this is if the maps don't feel correct or if the maps don't feel like they are conducive to the moveset, you aren't going to have that good of a time. I know I'm talking about Rocket League a lot, but I think it is a very apt comparison because in the same ways that Rocket League has a bunch of esports potential and, I mean, it does have like a thriving esports scene, it is also very much based on your kind of ability to just to pick up the skills, less your ability. Nice, that's incredible play there, Fūnk-é, just kind of jumping off the side of the map. That's huge. That's gonna really turn the tides.
Scared me off. They scared me off.
But it's like, yeah, like I don't remember if y'all played Rocket League early, but like there used to be these weird Rocket Lab maps where like the maps were not the uniform arena shape. They had like ramps in them or they had like weird stuff happening on the sides and nobody liked it because it kind of introduced too many variables in a way that didn't feel authentic and fun at all. But the maps that I've played that we were able to play in this pre-release event all seemed extremely conducive. They had the right amount of verticality, they had the right amount of like spaces both horizontally and, well, like I said, vertically, and also like you can snipe on these maps, which is very exciting conceptually because it's a video game about dodgeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is it's a shooter. It just doesn't look like one. That's the interesting thing about this game is like, you know, Team KO is basically deathmatch. Diamond Rush, where you you KO someone and then they leave diamonds behind, and you have to collect those diamonds to earn points. But also the other team can steal those diamonds too for collecting points. That basically feels like Call of Duty's Kill Confirm.
Yeah.
So like they're taking these well-known formats and adding a very interesting twist to it, and I love when developers do that because I get very tired of the just the average modern shooter format. So whenever there's something unique, and I think this game does it well.
I definitely agree. There's a lot of pillars on all of the maps that we played, and I was like, these people are just hiding behind the pillars. Like I can't hit them. And then I realized that you could curve the ball.
Yeah.
And that is just such a fun thing to just do. Like when someone thinks they're safe, you're just like, no, I'm curving this ball. Like you're getting hit, you're getting out. And I feel like while we were playing, every round we kind of realized what a mechanic was for. Like we started to be like, oh, we can dash and like push people off stages, or like we can curve the ball around the corner. And I really like when games, especially like competitive games, like I can learn and feel like I'm learning and growing as a player, even in this short amount of like we played a few hours, I think. But yeah, I feel more confident in my dodgeball play.
Yeah.
Another thing was the fake outs.
Yeah, exactly.
That was getting me.
I was just about to say there's so many mind games that you can play because you can see what the other players are doing. And a lot of like first-person shooters, they move too fast. Or like even in Fortnite, right? Like even in third-person shooters, they're moving kind of too fast for you to be able to legitimately and easily read what's happening. You can never tell when someone is about to turn into a building in front of you in Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
In this game, like, because there are a lot of verbs, and the verbs that are in this game are very succinct and tight, but there are so few of them, and they're so visually obvious that you're never looking at a person and you're like, well, what the fuck are they gonna do? You know, like you always know exactly what they're going to do, like, or some variation of what they're going to do. So when it actually does end up being a situation where you get faked out, you're like, well, I guess that's on me because I knew that was a possibility, and I still let it happen.
Yeah. It's like you can prepare, like, your main defense, I guess, is catching, right? And so much of that is just like timing. And you can see it's like, okay, someone's about to launch a ball to me. All right, like I can try and catch it and send it back to them.
Yeah, that was an incredible kill, Fūnk-é.
Thank you so much. I think that's a really great point, Nikki, because every other shooter I play is immediately hostile. Like, you see any pixel from an enemy and you just shoot at them.
Right.
But in this game, like, if you throw the ball, like, I feel like most players would catch it the first time. Like, once they realize that catching is a mechanic, people are just going to catch that. So you kind of have to think, should I fake this out? Or should I charge it up more? Or do a slow throw as well? Like, I was getting caught out by so many slow throws. Like,
Right.
people would just, like, do a tiny toss, and I'd catch too early, and then I'd miss it. And then they just hit me, and I'd be out. There's also a lot of... This one is only multi-ball, but the other balls were kind of nuts. I remember we played on a map with a cage ball, and that just puts the other player in a cage, and you can throw them as a ball. And so what I was doing was I picked them up and I just threw them off the stage.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even want to fight
That's
you.
High level play.
Yeah, Fūnk-é was doing that just over and over again. I was like, all right, man.
It works. I was like, well, surely this wouldn't work because there's a parachute as well, like if you're off stage. But if you, it's kind of designed so like if you throw it far enough, it doesn't even matter. Like,
Yeah.
I love when I can like kind of push the game and it lets me do that. So I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. It can be kind of frustrating when you get caged yourself, but thankfully, like, you're not stuck in the cage for too long. Like,
Yeah.
if no one else has picked you up, I think it's only like several seconds at least. But yeah, it is such a weird mechanic, but it works well.
I remember in one of our matches, Shay got caught by a cage ball, and I picked them up and threw them at the enemies, and we got a double kill.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes!
like the cage ball isn't even like it's not even good that you catch them in the ball because they can still be used as like a weapon against you.
Yeah,
which I think is
there really
pretty
seems to be
fun.
like an element of risk reward there, and same with like becoming the ball too, right? Is like that's easy ammunition where it's like, okay, like if I can't find a ball near me, at least I can, like, my teammate can become a ball and we can throw them at the enemy, but the enemy can
Yeah.
also pick up your teammate and use that against you. So
Which is terrifying to be in the hands of an enemy and just mashing A like, let me out. let me
right.
But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this game. I didn't really know anything about it before going into the event, and now I just want to play it more.
Yeah. It's
Very
got
excited for launch.
it's got a good vibe. Like I like it, I think I like the way that the characters look. I think there's going to be a lot of customization stuff. It's one of a handful of video games that does black hair correctly, which is always honestly, Fūnk-é, I think you and I at the end of the year should do a game of the year list that is just video games that came out this year that did black hair correctly.
Yes, yes.
Because like
I'm so
it is
down.
it is so rare, but like this game it does it well, and I like the way that the characters look, and I think that there's a lot of space for some of these skins to get gnarly,
Yeah,
which is cool.
absolutely. Well, we lost, but download this game and maybe you can win.
Bye.
Bye.